Hello there! It's that time of the month again. It's C.R.A.P Box time. C.R.A.P standing for Curated yet Random Assortment of Products. This is brought to you by Unmanned Tech, and this is their December box. So we will now open it up and let's see what we've got this time. Okay, so let's open up the box. So you can see I've already opened it and taken the stickers out. But beyond that, I haven't had much else to look at. So we have got a nice letter from Unmanned Tech saying, apologising for the lateness of the box. So this is box number 3, and it's their flashy 5-inch quad box. So they do apologise for the fact that there's been Christmas and various other things that have held them up. So they apologise for the lateness of this, but I will read the rest of this letter later on. Okay, so inside the box we've got a battery strap, so usual battery strap branded for Unmanned Tech. You can't really go wrong with having too many battery straps. You've got a little buzzer, so buzzer and light combo, so Maytech buzzer and light, there we go. So I've got some of these actually, a few of these around. So they're 8 programmable LEDs, quite a loud buzzer, and I quite like my buzzers because I've often lost quads, so having a buzzer is always useful. And when he flies with his nose, they end up being really loud and really irritating. And also, it doesn't have to be programmable. It can actually just be on. So if you haven't got a UART to go out to do LEDs or LED output for your board, you don't have to have it. You can just have these on, and they'll just take 5 volts ground, and it'll work nicely. So that's a good little thing to have. And it is flashy. So we've also then got a set of LED lights by the looks of things. Let's have a little look here. So it's a set of 4 LED lights. So they are 6 LEDs per item, and they've also got little cables that you can plug between them. So they're good for going on your arms underneath. So that's quite a nice little thing to have. Again, these ones are from Maytech, so it will pretty much work with anything you're gonna find. So again, flashy, so they're not missing the point on it being flashy this month. Okay, so now we've got a Chaos FPV or VTX. So this is a 5.8 gigahertz. Yeah, gigahertz. 40 channel video transmitter. Okay. There we go, and I think this actually has smart audio on it, which is pretty good. So I've been looking to get another video transmitter, so I am very glad that this one has come through. I didn't realise it actually had a proper port on it. I thought it was a solder joint. Ah, excellent. So very similar to a UNIFY Pro, but also it's got I think it's got a microphone on it. So I'll dig into the stats and we'll catch up on that a little bit later. So what else we've got here? So we have got a Omnibus 4 V6 flight controller. Let's have a quick look at this. Okay, so Omnibus boards are pretty common. They tend to be around quite a lot in the FPV community at the moment. So there's nothing wrong with them. They do everything you need to do. So this is an version 6, and who's it by? Is this Airbot? Possibly. Yeah, so it's a V6 version, so it's got quite a few UARTs. I'll find out some statistics on that, but that is a good thing to have in your box. Flight controllers are very, very handy. So then we've got some Velcro straps. Have we Velcro straps? No, these are sticky pads. Again, sticky pads are always useful when you're building your quads. So yeah, double-sided with foam, so useful for mounting LEDs, etc. So good stuff there. A little axial antenna. So let's open this up. There we go. So little axial antenna. Doesn't say whether it's left or right hand polarized on it. So, but we'll find out. Again, useful things to have. Again, the sort of things you lose. I mean, it's not a triumph, but it'll certainly do for a set of goggles, or if you've run out. So having a spare one of these in your kit box is not a bad thing to have. So then we've got some Dell Cyclone 5050C props. As I always say about these props, these are great props. You can't go wrong with these props. So happy to have those. And then what have we got under here? So we have got some Racecraft 5040 props. So I haven't. Oh, these are. Oh, interesting. These are quad blades. Interesting. I haven't. Whoa, they are very. Those are really soft. I imagine if you put them on talkie motors, they will bend a lot. I'll have to try those out. I haven't tried 4-blade props for a while, so always interesting to try new props and see what they are. And finally, we've got what's in here. So brilliant, flexible silicone coating. So conformal coating for your quad, so you can make your quad waterproof, which in the UK is brilliant. Now, this is the sort of stuff that doesn't sound like a very exciting thing to have, but trying to get hold of this was really, really difficult. And I've never got around to buying it. I've been meaning to buy it for ages, so it being in my box is fantastic. So let's put out everything we've got. Okay, so before I start, I just want to say thank you to Unmanned Tech. They sent me a really nice letter saying thank you for producing this content and apologising for the delays in getting this box out to me, which is why the video's late for getting out to you guys. Ultimately, I enjoy making this content and I really enjoy doing these videos, especially about these boxes. I think it's quite good fun, so I'm really happy. Also, they mentioned the fact that if you are an international customer, because they do ship internationally, if you're interested, you won't get the conformal coating and you won't get the F4 Omnibus F4 V6 flight controller. The reason being this is difficult to ship internationally, so they haven't bothered. Instead, they've sent out the Fireworks F4 V2 flight controller, which I'll put on screen here, which is a very, very nice flight controller. I'm really impressed with it. I haven't got one, but the specs look very, very good, and the value for money looks pretty good. In fact, I think it might make it a better deal for the international customers than the UK-based customers. Controversial, I know. Anyway, so let's talk about what's actually in the box. So first of all, you've got you've got the stickers. Stickers are stickers. Stickers always stay the same. You've also got some the Cyclone 50/50 props. I don't change the score on these because I still use them all the time, so they are the consistent thing that always gets the same score. Then you get the Racecraft props. So when you check these out on the Unmanned Tech store, they're 75p for a set. And I think the reason why is because they're so very bendy. I imagine these are going to be rubbish, but I don't know, so we'll find out. So the scores are pretty low for these. Okay, moving on. So we've also got the battery strap. Battery straps are battery straps. They're always useful. Spare ones are great. So it's a bit short, but it feels pretty strong. So it's a great one to have. LEDs. So LEDs. These are really useful and really pretty cool, and I really want to put these on one of my quads. I need to decide which one I'm going to do it on because I quite like having LEDs on there, especially when they're programmable ones, so you can do some cool stuff. So these are very cool, and you just snap them to get them off each other, so you just snap them. This is also really useful. I mean, I've got a few of these around and they are great because you can just wire them up and you get your buzzer and you've got your lights as well. So it's really good and goes back on the back of quite a lot of drones. So I've got a few of these around, but they are very useful and pretty good things to have in your kit box. The video transmitter is interesting. So when you start digging into it, so it says it has smart audio, and it does have smart audio, but I think it's a very specific type, and I don't think it's licensed by TBS. And you have to do something a little bit special to set it up on Betaflight. So I'm going to look into that. So it's pretty cool, and it is good, and it's got a microphone on it. It's also controllable via little buttons, so it's got a nice little click button, and it's got an MMX connector. Or MCMX, sorry, connector. So it's actually very strong and very sturdy, which is great. And it also pairs really nicely with the cloverleaf antenna, not an axial antenna, as I got wrong earlier. So this is quite useful. I mean, it's not the ones I use because generally I use axes, the Luminaire axes on most of my drones because they're really, really good and they're pretty much indestructible and they're always out of the prop line. But this is a really useful antenna, and it goes directly with here because it's SMA, and this is right-hand polarized, this one. So this is pretty cool, pretty useful. I've got some ideas of what I'm going to use this for, so they're great things to have in your box. So let's talk about the flight controller. So my question for anyone watching this video is, most F4 flight controllers I know tend to have a soft mount. And that's either by having gummies in the corners or by having rubber mounts as like the Maytex do.
this one doesn't have any of that. So I am wondering whether this is going to have any form of issues with its mounting. So I am going to see if anyone's got any experience with one of these. It'd be great for you to feedback to me in the comment section below whether this needs to be soft mounted or not. Going on to that, these are soft mount sticky pads, so they're foam pads, 3M pads. You can stick the flight controller down with them. I don't tend to stick my flight controllers down just because I tend to have to fiddle about with them quite a lot, so I don't really do that. So I tend to just use soft mounts, the rubber grommets, etc. to make them work. So these are useful. I'm probably going to end up slicing these in half and using these for ESCs. And then that just kind of leaves us with the conformal coating, which is great. And I think I'm going to put it on my racing quad actually, because I want to go take it out in the snow. And it is literally snowing outside as I'm recording this video. So great thing to have, really, really useful. So really particularly pleased with this. And it's the sort of thing I've been looking for ages, and really glad that I've got it. So when you look at the overall of the box, you're talking about a total value of the box about £60.27. And that gives you, for a cost of a box, about £43. So you are up. You're doing better than you would anyway. But you've got a bit of risk in terms of you're not necessarily sure what you're going to get. The total pound for pound value is £1.39. The average usefulness is 7.6, and the average coolness is 6.7. Interestingly enough. So it's a pretty good box from that perspective. Now, one thing I want to mention is that Unmanned Tech, unlike any other box I know, if you don't like the contents of your box, you can pack it all up and send it back to them and they will refund you the money. So there is no risk here for you. Well, low risk. So it's great from that perspective. So let's go and check out how it compares against previous boxes. So when you look at previous boxes, you will see that actually the value of this box is actually lower by around, around £7, £5 to £7 on average. And that's quite a lot. Feels like quite a lot. And that's about the only negative I can pick out of this box. It feels like if we'd have had maybe a sort of a set, maybe another set of props, 2 sets of props, it would bring itself back into that line of being in that sort of right value. I mean, I think 139 is a little bit low. I think it's got to be 145. I'm probably picking hairs, but it feels that because it's lower than the other boxes, it does feel a little bit lower valued, which is a bit of a shame. But on usefulness and coolness, it's bang on point. So from that perspective, it's a good box. Ultimately, as I said, you can return this box if you're not happy with it, but I am actually very happy with it. So I am going to I'm going to carry on. So I don't need to return this box at all. So that's great from that perspective. So before I finish this video, I just want to say thank you for you all watching. We are literally about 1 subscriber away from going over 500 subscribers, which is fantastic. I'm really happy that's been in a year we've gone up to that, so I'm happy with that. I mean, it's not the massive numbers, but I'm really happy. I'm really thanks so much everyone who's subscribed in the last year and shared my videos. Also, any of the statistics for these videos will be available on my new website, which is paulrosefpv.com, which will be a link in the description. And on there you can find all of my reviews, you can find all my drones that I've got, and you can also find all the statistics and numbers and all the things that have been in all the boxes I've reviewed. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for reaching the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. It really does help grow this channel. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.